Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashley. I'm talking about the Colored Raine Safari Rain palette right here. And I'm just going to like pull the sleeve off. If not, it'll take me forever to get it off. But I picked up this palette. It released Friday, March 8th. And let me tell you, the shipping was so fast. I literally ordered it right when it launched, or maybe a couple of minutes prior to launching. It launched at 11 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, and I live in the Central Time Zone. And I ordered it maybe like 5 to 10 minutes prior to launch because I got an email and I was like, oh, I can order it now. Great. So I ordered it and did regular shipping, and I got immediately notified that my package was going to be shipped out. And then I checked the shipping, the tracking rather, and it said I was going to receive it on Tuesday. But when I got home from work on Monday evening, the palette was here. So here we are today. I think this palette is so gorgeous. I have had my eye on this palette forever. They sneak peeked this packaging, I want to say around November. So I was hoping it was going to come out before the end of 2018, but it was actually put out this year in March, and it is called Safari Rain, and it is a 9-pan palette. And then on the back, it has all the ingredients of the palette. Now, Colored Raine is cruelty-free, so that is great. And they said the inspiration behind this palette is after Raine. Raine is the owner of Colored Raine, and it's a perception of safari and wildlife. And they are striving to be cruelty-free, so there were eyelashes that launched in this collection. I did not pick up those, but those are cruelty-free as well. And I did pick up the 2 brushes as well right here. I had the blending brush and the flat shader brush. So let's go ahead and open up this palette. Like I said, it's a 9-pan palette. It is cruelty free, and once you open it, it's good for 12 months. And it was made here in the USA, and it's distributed by Colored Raine Cosmetics, which is here. And I always say here. I'm in Chicago. I don't know why I always say here, but it was made in United States, so that's here, but there is San Clemente, California. I always do that. I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, and it looks like this. It is gorgeous. It has a mirror. I'm just gonna go ahead. Of course, I will get you some close-up shots. So the palette retails for $39. There were 3 lipsticks. I did not pick up the lipsticks. I'm kind of on like a lipstick no buy. Don't talk to me about these palettes, y'all, but I'm like on a lipstick low buy, okay? And then I picked up the shadow brush right here, which retails for $10. And then I also picked up the blending brush that retails for $12. I was really interested in the brushes. I've never tried the brushes. So far, it feels really soft, and these are cruelty-free as well. And the handles of them are green, forest green, with these nice gold-plated nickel, they're not nickel, but gold-plated barrels of the brushes right here. So I'm actually pretty excited to play with these brushes. Now I'm just going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Ha ha ha. No pun intended. This is a safari palette. But I don't know. I might do a video about this, but you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments. But it really does not sit well with me with other black women who own brands and they shade each other, because when Colored Raine announced what this palette was going to look like and we finally saw the inside a couple weeks ago, Juvia's Place was like, oh, they stole my palette. They stole the Tri palette. So if you don't know, Colored Raine is one of my favorite brands. If you don't know, Juvia's Place is one of my favorite brands, along with ColourPop, Pat McGrath. I think those are like my 4. I'm like, those are my brands. So I just really don't like what the owner did when she said that they really just stole this palette. This is what the inside of the Tri palette looks like. You know, I've done like I've definitely done 2 looks, and I might have just done a complete review of the palette. If anything, now I will try hard to just insert a clip here. I actually compared this palette to the Natasha Denona Gold palette because there were shades. This one, this one, this one, this one. They were very similar and had that green gold shift. If you could not afford to buy the Natasha Denona Gold palette, or you just weren't interested in spending $125 in the gold palette. So, you know, Juvia's Place is like, they stole our vibe. First of all, you guys are both indie brands. You guys are both black women. There is enough money out here for everybody to have room. And nobody is screaming foul play when there are 50,000 berry palettes. You see, I'm mad. I can't even speak. Well, you know, I can't speak half the time anyway. But there are 50,000 berry palettes that came out this past fall. Too Faced had one with the Tutti Frutti collection. They had the Razzle Dazzle Berry. Then there was the Naked Cherry. Then there was the Kristen Dominique Berries and Cream. And then it was like 3,000 or 5,000 berry palettes. So yes, I mean, they're similar, but to me, they're totally different. I mean, one palette is the orange, but even if they are somewhat similar, which I kind of get that too. I'm not blind. I'm like, yes, they're kind of a similar vibe, but they're not total. I don't think Raine just copied you, stole your whole palette. There's definitely enough room for both of you two to exist, okay? There's just definitely enough room. So I don't want to keep talking about it. Let me know if you want to see a video about it, because I could just kind of go back in time with some things that I saw when they were talking about, because Juvia's Place sneak peek the cover of this a very long time, and now they're just kind of doing like the illegal filter that Trend Move likes to call, which is the black and white filter over their new products. I'm out there copycats. I don't like it. Stop it. Stop it. We don't need to do that. Let the big brands do that. And I don't even like it when they do that. But let's not have two black women with two outstanding black-owned makeup companies do that. Because I'm always pushing YouTube's products. Always pushing Color Raine. I'm always pushing Juvia's Place. Back to the Color Raine palette. I'm excited. Been waiting for this palette forever. Color Raine's quality is amazing. If you have never tried Color Raine, I really implore you to try it. If you are maybe scared about ordering from their website, they do have some of their palettes now in Target. I saw the little mini palettes in my local Target, and they have their highlighters along with their liquid lipsticks. Bomb. Cherry Blossom. Yes. Amen. Okay. That Queen of Hearts palette. Yes. The single shadows, I have a ton of them. They're gorgeous. The pigment, gorgeous. So these shadows, I mean, I'm expecting top quality from this palette. So let's go ahead and get swatching, because I'm definitely going to do a look for you guys. And I'm feeling kind of bold, so I want to do something a little different. I usually do, I can do some bold looks on my channel, but I want to do something a little different. So let's go ahead, because this video will be like 20,000 years long. Let's go ahead and get to swatching. I'm going to start with the first row, and already I'm like digging my fingers, and I'm like, yes, they feel awesome. I haven't even swatched the palette. Okay, so the first shade here, okay, I can't move my shirt up any longer, so we're going to try to keep the swatches close where I'm not down here. Okay, so the first shade right here is called Toucan. I can't even see what they look like. Okay, that is pretty. Second shade here is Clay. And of course, you know, I will zoom in. That feels good. Then we have Tigress. I mean, maybe the orange is similar. I mean, come on, y'all, stop it. Okay, back to the Sephora. I'm off my soapbox, okay? So, we're going to go in with the second row. Okay, so second row we have, this is called Congo Basin. That's super pretty. Then we have Green Valley. Another gorgeous color. Then we have Jungle. Whew. That's beautiful. Okay, for our third and final row, I'm doing pretty well, y'all. We have Lioness. It's a beautiful color. We have Amazon Basin. Another beautiful color. And then we have Matriarch. And these are the swatches. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I do have makeup on. I got quite a bit of highlighter on if you're wondering what's happening. I filmed another video which was on the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. So I think this video is going to go up first and then the Bloom palette. But let's go ahead and get started. I have my eyelids primed with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Little switch up for the brows. I did use my Caramel ABH Brow Definer, but then I went in with the Caramel ABH New Dip Brow Gel over it. So testing it out. So far I'm kind of digging it. You do have to be careful with it, but I'll talk to you guys later about that one. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I have my lids prepped and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm using the color Raine brushes. I'm gonna start with their blending brush. Feels very light to touch. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Clay right here, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that in my crease or my transition shade area. See what I mean? Pigment. Like pigment on pigment, like, thank you. That was so easy to blend out, and this brush is very soft to touch on the skin, so I do not like scratchy brushes. And I'm just kind of fusing that color out right here at this particular line so it's not so harsh as the closer we get to the brow bone. So pretty. I am going to go back in. You do have a little bit of kick up, nothing terrible, and I just convinced myself I wanted it a little bit darker. Okay, I wiped my brush off and my little makeup towel, so I'm going to go in with the shade Congo Basin right here. Pick it up, same brush, and I'm just going to put this right here in the crease. This is a nice, beautiful olive green color. These shadows feel so smooth. And I'm just going to throw some here in this inner corner, right here. And they're very easy to work with. Okay, so now we're about here. I'm gonna go in with, this is the flat eyeshadow brush from the color Raine, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Jungle, which is that turquoise matte shade, so pretty. And I'm just actually going to fill in the space. It picks up so nice. And it goes on like silk. Do you see that? So pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that little inner space blank, okay? So now I'm just gonna wipe my brush off, and then I'm just gonna flip it over. And I'm gonna take Matriarch right here. The lighting is bouncing off of this reflective gold. This color seems so smooth too. And I'm gonna fill it in right here, that little blank space that we have. Just patting it on, same brush. And I'm just going to kind of fuse the two colors together right there. Making sure it meets in the crease, because like I said, I have fold, so got to stretch it up sometimes. See, make sure I got shadow there, so when I open my eyes, I'm not missing any shadow. And I'm just making sure the shades are fused right there. I'm kind of winging that out right there. Winging that out. Oh, I'm like, this is so pretty. So now I'm just wiping off that brush again, and I'm gonna go back in with the shade, well, off the fallout, the shade Clay. Right there. Just picking up just a tiny. Fusing that blending out. Making sure it's blended on the side. And then I like to go in with my favorite MAC brush for blending, and this is my 224. And I feel like this makes everything look so seamless. It's so fluffy. It just really blends everything out so well, especially in areas where you don't want any harsh lines. Okay, so this part I'm excited about, and I hope it goes well. Pray for me, y'all. Okay, so I picked up, this is my Anastasia number 18 concealer brush, and I'm gonna go in with my Makeup Revolution crease brush, and I'm gonna do like a wing liner effect with the Tigress shade. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm picking some concealer up off the wand, okay, because that way it ensures that I kind of don't take too much. And I'm gonna go ahead and do like, it's the same concept as cutting the crease basically. So let's see. So some of this might get covered up, but then you'll see it in the end. I hope this goes all right. Okay, I gotta focus, y'all. Okay, actually I decided I'm gonna change brushes, go in with this angle brush. So I'm gonna put some more concealer on this. Okay, I just made a mess. Let you know I'm not perfect, but you know, that's how we correct our stains. Taking a little makeup wipe. And I'm not so pressed about my makeup that's underneath. I can always just touch that up. It's not a big deal. And normally I always do my base last anyway. And then I'm just gonna sharpen up that edge right there at the bottom. See? And then I'm gonna go back in with that brush. Just correct. Make it look sharp. Make sure that concealer is blended out so it's not patchy. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go in with this little tiny Real Techniques shader brush, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Tigress. That is this beautiful orange shade. Tap off the excess. And I'm going to go ahead and pack this on. It is so pretty. It's almost giving like a double wing effect. And I do want to go ahead and wet it. It's such a beautiful shade, but over that light concealer, I'm just going to go ahead and wet it. Yes. And basically, we want to just stay in the lines. I think I just got out of the lines, but you know, we'll fix it. And then I'm just picking up a little tiny more, just making sure it's like that line is highly coated out to the side. There we go. And now I think I was just going to do all orange. I'm really liking how this looks. Like a, I don't know, a tiger or something. Tigers don't live in safaris, but you know what I say. Then I'm going to go in the shade with Toucan. Toucan is that gold shade. A bright gold shade, that's Toucan. And I'm just going to stamp it on the very inner corner of this. So it's like it's going to fuse into that other corner. The other shade rather. I don't know what I'm talking about, the other corner. So pretty. So this is what it looks like so far. Yep, I'm liking it. It's different and it's cute. Normally I would bring my stuff all the way down to here, but I just want to start it here so it has a cleaner line, and then you can still see the green in that particular area. And I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp a little bit more. There goes the fire trucks again, taking it with a little bit more all nighter setting spray. I'm always talking about the wind and the fire trucks in my video, but then when I edit my videos, I'm able to kind of drastically reduce the background noise, because sometimes I have my little heater going next to me. So you guys are probably always like, what the heck is she talking about? Okay, because yeah, I'll have to check. Okay, so I'm gonna add, am I gonna add a little liner? I'm gonna clean my lashes off. Okay, that's gonna be a mess. Okay, so now I'm gonna add false lashes, and I'm gonna do the other eye, of course, and I'll come back for the other eye. Okay, I'm back and I finished my eyes, and my lashes are like hanging off by a thread. I really need a new pair of these. These are the Kiss Little Black Dress, but every time I go into Ulta, I just can't find any. So we might have to check out Amazon. But I put Perversion eyeliner in my waterline by Urban Decay, and now I'm gonna go in with that. I'm gonna just keep that same little Real Techniques brush, and I'm gonna go in with that same shade, which is Tigress, and that was that orange shade. And I'm just gonna, let's wet it, because I'm sticking it on the bottom line so it has something to stick to. I think this look is so stinking cute. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it all underneath right here. I'm gonna do the same thing on the same side. My brush is still a tiny bit wet right there. Great. And then I'm going to take a little bit, keep the same brush. I'm going to go a little bit with, let's see, let's take some Green Valley right here, which is this gorgeous green shimmer shade. And stick some right in the middle. Yep. Pretty. These two layered on top of each other creates a gorgeous color. All right. So I'm gonna leave the inner corners free, and I'm gonna go in Pat McGrath mascara, hit the bottom lashes up. Crazy faces are happening. Okay, see if I can get a tiny bit more mascara into it. Okay, so this is the final look. I'm gonna go ahead and pull you out, and I am wearing 1993 lipstick by Urban Decay. Okay, so this is the final look, and I think it just came out gorgeous. It is just such a fun look, and you know, I'm so used to always putting shimmers on my mobile lid, so it was just really fun to do something else, and these shadows performed amazingly. They did not let me down. I used quite a bit of them, so I used, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, I used 7 out of 9 shadows, which isn't bad at all considering it's a 9-pan palette. It's my first time using the shades. The shade Clay, you know, that is that great burnt orange transition color. It is beautiful. It blended out like a gem. Tigress was super bold. I used that as part of the wing liner situation I have going on, mixed with that shade Toucan. These two mixed together, and with Green Valley down on the bottom. The way these shimmers mix and the foil intensity that you get after you wet them is amazing. The Matte's Jungle, which is like literally all over my lid, it is such a vibrant, dark, hunter teal green, and it was not patchy at all. It blended out. It was able to pack on my lids very quickly. I didn't have to keep packing it on and pressing it on. I mean, the pigmentation was there and it stayed. Same with the shade Cocoa Basin, which is right here, and the shade Matriarch. So the only two shades that I have not used is Lioness and Amazon Basin, but I love this palette, and I think it's definite a welcome addition to my collection, and I think that really there's room for both palettes. Talking about the Juvia's Place palette, the Tri palette, and this particular palette. This palette is a little bit more grungier to me, especially like the Green Valley shade right here. You got these two kind of more cooler, Amazon Basin and Lioness. What's the name? And then you got your bright gold here, and then your Tigress. But the Cocoa Basin is grungy green. I think the palette is absolutely gorgeous. I know I did not mention it before, but this palette is actually permanent to the Color Raine collection, and I think that it's just beautiful. The quality is superb. The quality is standard amongst all the Color Raine shadows that I have tried. I've tried a considerable amount at this point of the palettes. I basically have almost all of their palettes except for two of the little mini ones. So I think they released 4, and that would be, no, I have the Rust one now. So I think it was the dark and smoky one that I don't have, and maybe that's it, because I have Cheers to the Beauty, I have Queens of the Heart, and I have several of the single shadows, and then I have the Power Pigments, and now I have this. So as far as shadows of Color Raine, I'm here with it. Now the brushes were very nice. It's surprising. This blending brush, it felt very nice. It was fluffy. It blended out everything very well. The product did not stick to it. Picked up the product very well, and it was very soft to the touch. The brush is very light, so if you don't like really light brushes, you might not like that, but I tend to don't mind, because sometimes I get so focused and I do like this, but the brushes just kind of let you know that you need to just keep it in your hand to give it a light guide. But I didn't have any problems blending with this brush, and sometimes I get very worried, especially when using new crease brushes. I'm just like, is it going to work? I'm so used to like my Sephora Pro brushes, and especially more blending brushes that are more like dome shaped. I know I do have like my favorite Sephora magnetic crease brush, but I don't tend to usually use it for this particular area. I use it right in the crease so I can control the pigmentation and the blending at the same time. So this was a pleasant surprise, and I didn't have any trouble working with this particular brush. Like I said, the hairs are synthetic. The line is cruelty free. This brush was great. I got a little bit of concealer on it. Sorry, I'm lying. That is my Anastasia 18 brush. They're kind of similar in shape, but it's another flat shader brush. This is the eyeshadow base brush, and this one I just used to put on the shade Jungle, which was that matte right there, and able to just blend it out and pack on and just kind of define my eyelids how I wanted to define. And the brush is very nice. Like I said, it performs like the other brush. I think the shape of it is great. I like how it has like that little point towards the end, and it's just kind of round and oval. That way you can get kind of precise application on certain colors. And I just like how it's flat and aesthetic, and this helps also to definitely pick up those shimmer shades. Now I did not use it for the shimmer shades, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I think it will work perfect for shimmer shades, especially a little bit more foiled, more bodied. So I'm hoping you guys get a chance to pick up this palette. I really recommend this palette. I think it is gorgeous. I think the packaging is stunning. You know, the shades perform well. I know some people might be like, oh, it's a little too dark, but I promise you, you know, it's always a way to finesse something. I'm like, I'm wearing this palette to work. I'm gonna put that orange shade on with the gold. I might have the green on. I don't care. I like the palette. And I think you do have just, you know, like even the Congo Basin, it wasn't very dark. The clay you could definitely bend out. You don't have to put on as much as I did because the pigmentation is there at the beginning. You could definitely put Toucan on the lids, Lioness, Amazon Basin, that Green Valley. That shade is very wearable. Olive greens are so wearable if you just don't even realize it. And I just think it's a great palette. I know some people were kind of complaining online about the cost of it being $39. I don't think it's like a bad price point. Color Raine does tend to be a little bit more expensive, but their quality is superb. Their mattes are fully bodied, fully pigmented. They do not have a lot of fallout. Even with that dark Jungle shade, I had like no fallout on my face. I did not wipe away anything. I didn't even wipe away the Tiger shade. Nothing. I didn't wipe away anything. So I just like the quality is just so nice, and these are mattes that don't take a lot to work with at all, as you can see, and even with this look that's a little bit more complex. So I really think you should try this palette out. I'm in love, as you can see, and let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and give this video a big thumbs up. Turn on your notification bell so you know when I will post another video, which will be very soon. And I hope you guys are having a fabulous week, and I will talk to you later. And let me hit my chair dance. Hey, hey. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.